Hello gamers, how's my little pog champs this fine Sunday? I'm recording this, of course, because it's the last day of the month, August 31st, 2025. This month felt like it went on forever. Not a widely diverse list of games being played, but a decent amount of games. Alright, so we started off this month playing modded Terraria once again. Starting a new world with a few new mods and disabling the Metroid mod. Can't remember if I disabled something else. Playing on legendary difficulty with, I think it's called Eternity mode? I don't remember. It's that extra hard mode difficulty that's added with Calamity. Because Friendo desired to play it. So we did. I also added in two other mods. One is Kirby Transformation mod that turns you into Kirby. It changes how some of the things work, like flight is added to the Kirby's little flaps, essentially extra jumps instead of flight, because it has a different reworked system while you are in Kirby form. While in Kirby form, you can of course inhale enemies and spit them out, or swallow them, get their powers if they have any. And there's a lot of nifty little powers. The other mod I was playing with is the Kerbo Minions and Pets, which has terminal montages, kind of Kerbos, that you can get as summon minions, as well as a light pet and a regular pet. So basically I am a giant cluster of Kirbys inside of it. Not much really wild going on with it. Just started a For the Worthy world, put on this difficulties. I don't remember how far we got. Before we just kind of stopped playing. You know how it goes. The urge to play Terraria comes and goes. There'll be another day. Unlike Dead by Daylight, which there won't be another day, this is the final month I am playing the game because of their absolutely, how do I even put this, unprofessionalism is not a harsh enough word to explain behavior. The company that makes Dead by Daylight, they not only put out another content update and then immediately fucked off onto vacation again. They keep doing that. And, I mean, of course, the patch wasn't even really ready. It was abysmal. A lot of stuff was broken on it. Things that people are apt to point out. If they literally play-tested a singular match, they'd see things are wrong, because it isn't like an odd random bug. Sorry. It was every match in the offering screen, you would see this beam that everyone started calling Jim, apparently, just hanging out on the screen when it's not supposed to be there. That was one thing. When they finally returned to work, in quotation marks, they were presented with evidence of, hey, you need to kill switch some of this stuff because it is utterly busted right now. And I think the most famous example was they did something to Streetwise. I don't know what its effect is anymore. I didn't stick around long enough to find out. But the way it used to work was it would slow down charge consumption of items by a certain percentage. It was nice. And of course, because it didn't need to be touched, the idiots decided to touch it. And somehow made it to where every time you picked up an item from a chest, it would gain more charges past the charge amount it starts with. So people would just find a chest, open it, and with their cracked items, they would just keep swapping their item with the chest item over and over and over, and it would stack indefinitely, which would then allow them to finish generators in 30 to 40 seconds, because the toolbox charges would go up to so much that they had virtually infinite charges. This is of course a big issue, so people pointed out to the devs, and they kept pleading, please kill switch it. They weren't saying fix this right away, they were saying just toggle it off. That's what that feature is for. Kill switching things that are currently broken in the game that ruin it. But for some reason, they kept doubling down, saying, oh, it's not broken. It's not a problem. Yeah, of course you'd say that. And then they just kept getting ragged on harder and harder. And people were trying to not use it, at least the people that weren't being little shitheads, because they wanted to be polite, give the devs a chance to fix the problem. But they didn't want to fix the problem. They didn't want to kill switch it. So people then started abusing it to hell. Rightfully so. Because, hey, the dev said it was okay. And then immediately they had to panic slam down the kill button, because now everybody's suddenly using it and making them look bad. Because that's the only thing that behavior responds to, is being publicly embarrassed. And it's mind-boggling. Why are they like this? And that's not even the kicker. The thing that was like the final nail in the coffin for me personally, why I uninstalled the game and I'm not coming back, not for a good long time, is this infamous stream they had. So is promotion for the game. They had the actor Chandler Riggs, I believe his name was. He plays as Carl in The Walking Dead. They had him come in on an official stream for Behavior to help promote the game and, of course, the show. And in recent times, Behavior has put in a spectator feature in private matches, which is cool and all, except Behavior are extremely lazy and cheap out on getting proper hack protections for their game. Whenever there's a cheater upsurge, their strategy is always to wait them out because the cheaters eventually get bored and move on. That's what they do every time. But, this is the time that they really can't sweep it under the rug as much as they really fucking tried. And they have no one to blame but themselves. No one at all. Except themselves for this. They got hacked on their stream. They got DDoSed to hell and back because they did not listen to the content creators they brought on, just Otstarva, a guy who is well known throughout the Dead by Daylight community because he's like a one-man team of trying to keep Behavior in good light. But they just keep ignoring him. They keep dismissing everything he says. They only see him as nothing more than a mouthpiece. And they're so disrespectful to him. And this stream showed the level of disrespect. I will get there. But to continue the preface to... Or what should I say? I don't know how to say preface, prologue. To give a little bit of backstory to the DDoSing. Otstarva, before the stream, told them how to prevent this from happening. They have to have staff inside the spectator slots so that hackers can't just hack their way into the spectator slots to allow them to do hacks, DDoSing, and other things. They, of course, ignored Otstarva. Okay, so they go forth. They try to play the game. Everything starts, and then DDoSing. Ots, tries to do some damage control while things are going down in the back. Tries to make conversation. Good. Then they try to go again. DDoSed immediately again. This happens a couple times. Even to the point where Chandler Riggs says to Behavior staff on Behavior's own stream in their office to their face, "Hey, Ott says we should fill out the slots. Do we?" And they just cut them off, and they're like, No. That's not what this is. And then the stream just sort of awkwardly goes off. They disrespect their host, Chandler Riggs. They disrespect the people they brought on, Otstarva, and by extension, the other content creators that aren't DBD content creators themselves, they're just big streamers. But, you know, they're still guests. And by not doing the thing that would have solved all of their problems and caused everything to go off without a hitch, you are wasting their time and making them look like clowns as well. And it's just been an absolute shit show, and that's why I'm not playing DBD anymore. They're not getting my money. They're not getting numbers boosted from me playing. They're getting jack shit from me. They can kiss my rear. I will not stand for people being disrespected like that. Like, shamelessly disrespected. And then they put out the most half-assed apologies. And things aren't exactly going great for them right now, and they keep doing really wild public stunts right now. Like, they made a badge of the loading screen beam called Jim, which would be cute if it wasn't for everything else. And they're trying to be funny and jokey in their patch notes, trying to be like, hey, fellow kids, yeah, we're in on the jokes too. And it's like, dude, this isn't a situation where you laugh with us. We're laughing at you. You are being the clown. I don't know. Things are going even crazier, and apparently the next patch they're going to put out is turning Michael Myers into another slop dash killer. They're giving survivors base kit unbreakable for some fucking reason, and doing all sorts of other stupid decisions. And I'm just like, why? Why are you so bad at your jobs? I really wish VHS that I really wish VHS didn't go under. It going under was really like the final bastion of an actual competitor to DBD. But because those devs decided to act like Behavior did, they died faster because they don't have Michael Myers and Leatherface and other big names to hold up their game. Anyway, moving on to more positive things. I also played Kirby and the Maze and Mirror a little bit. Didn't get too far. I know that game isn't really popular. I like it mostly from a nostalgia standpoint. I played a lot of it back in like middle school. I enjoy it. I really wish they'd take another crack at it. That's my thought. They can do a better job of making a Kirby Metroidvania, is what I feel. It is still nice enough to get through. It's just, it can be a little bit annoying at times where it's like, oh, you get hit, you lost your power, you gotta go all the way back to the beginning of the game and worm your way back there and carry said power so you can do this puzzle. There's a few instances like that, and it does get tiresome if you're going for 100%. Thankfully, you don't need 100% to beat the game. And also, like, the map isn't very good. Like, it'll show pathway icons between areas, but it doesn't tell you the whole truth, because some areas are only passable in one direction, despite the fact it shows otherwise. Oh, it's weird. I like the game. Could be better. It gets a out of 10. World of Final Fantasy. I've been playing through that, or at least I was earlier this month. It's a pretty good game. The original music in it I don't really care for, but the remixes are all really good. I have a bit of an issue, though, with some of the mechanics of the game, because for those who don't know, World of Final Fantasy is kind of like Pokemon, but Final Fantasy. The main gimmick of the game, other than catching Final Fantasy critters, is your team composition, where you can become a little small guy, or you can be a Kingdom Hearts OC, and you stack your Pokemons on top of you. And the way it works, there can only be one of each size type in a stack, which in reality comes down to you can always have one small size creature, but you have to choose between one medium or large, because your Kingdom Hearts OCs have to take up the other slot, which wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for that, like, if you can't switch out your monsters mid-battle, which can get a bit bothersome, because how you catch monsters in that game is that you have to do a certain action to a mon, whether it hit them with a physical attack to be able to catch them, or you have to inflict confusion, or hit them with holy damage. Things like that, but if you don't know that going into the battle, and let's say you have a monster with holy damage on the sidelines, you can't go into battle. You can't swap them out in the battle. You just have to suck it up. And it's kind of annoying. And another annoying thing I find is that a lot of evolutions, for some reason, are locked off by, like, killing the monster to begin with, because it's like, it's really bumming me out, man, when I have to go, like, the whole game before I finally can get a thing to turn my Hydra into a bigger Hydra, even though it's been, like, maxed out on all of its perk nodes this entire time. It's just absorbing more and more perk points per level, but then, like, when I finally get the creature unlocked, I just dump all those points in and they're already maxed out, so, like, there's no feeling of real progress with it as you go. But those complaints aside, it's a fun game. It's got a sort of like active time bar kind of deal, similar to other Final Fantasy games, except when it's your turn, the bar just completely freezes. So it's still turn-based, but with a more active time gauge, so that you can theoretically get off more attacks than your enemies if your team is fast enough. Oh yeah, another thing that bugs me. HM slaves. There are things you have to do on the world map that your mons have to be in a specific state to use. So even though I want to use the Airman monster, I have to keep him as a floating eye. Because for some reason when he's an Airman, even though he's bigger, you can't fly with him across gaps. Only the smaller eyeball can. I don't get it. Why? And there's other ridiculous things, like I can make one of my guys into an iron giant, but if I do that, he loses the ability to break things. So it's like, oh, I guess he's too strong now. He can't break the rock anymore. I don't get it. Why? So, like, a lot of my sidelined guys are just... they're just there to be HM slaves, for lack of a better word, for those of you who play Pokemon. Getting Trahamet was a blessing, though, because that let me put a lot of things onto him alone, so I didn't have to carry around a full team of babies, because for some reason only the baby forms of these creatures have the ability to freeze or flame things. I don't know. I know I keep complaining, but it is a good game. I do recommend it if you like creature catchers. I just feel like it could be better is all. I criticize because I care, but the game gets a thumbs up from me. Like it's I'd put it like an 8 out of 10. Pretty good. Pretty great. Enjoyable. Good for Final Fantasy fans in general. And then next up on the list, Warframe. I've been playing a lot of that. Just doing the typical Warframe grind. Yareli Prime has been added to the game, as well as Caliban Prime, just as a few days ago. So, farming those, as well as regular farming, leveling up things and whatnot. I don't really have much spectacular to say, other than that, it's just the Warframe grind. I enjoy playing the game, and for some reason I'm just in the mood for those sort of games right now. Which we will get back to, but before that, an interlude with web fishing. I played a little bit more web fishing lately. Not much else to say beyond that. I see they added a few new things. Yeah, that's it. It's web fishing. Nice little social game, except I don't socialize with anyone, because I'm forever alone. And now back to looting and shooting. I also played Borderlands. I continued the character I was playing a while ago. I was playing through the game as a siren for the first time. Wanted to do element stuff. And that was nifty. Did all the DLCs and things. think there's only like 2 quests I know of I haven't completed. One is the Brains quest for Zombie Island of Dr. Ned, because I don't know where it is. All I know is there's an achievement for doing it. And the other one is You Will Die, which is the first ever raid boss in the Borderlands series. Cromarak's the Invincible. Haven't beat him. I got pretty close using the ledge cheese, but no, I'm going to wait until I'm higher level before I try again. Hopefully with some better weapons, as the only gun of mine that did anything good was my alien sniper rifle. Everything else did like 11 to 22 damage. Specifically either 11 or 22, I should say, not 2. It was never between, it's one or the other. But yeah, other than that, I did move on to Borderlands 2. Been trying out Axton, since I haven't played him yet. His skills are pretty milk toast, as best I can say. They don't have wacky things like stacking anarchy or hellfire halitosis while setting yourself on fire and stuff like that. It's just like, you want extra reload speed? Sure thing. Here you go, buddy. Want some more max HP? Of course. There's only a few things that are a little wacky, but it's mostly all tame and whatnot, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's simple characters. Some people don't want crazy things. They just want somebody that's straightforward, and that's how I feel Axton is. See, I think I'm like 4/5 of the story on the main campaign, at least for Borderlands 2. I did the Headhunters already, because for some reason those are scaled really low on New Game. I don't know why. They're like level 15 to 20. Yeah. But I've put that down for now, because we're moving on to the final game I've been playing of this month. Warframe notwithstanding, as I do stream that a lot lately, especially after the outrage with DBD. Path of Exile 2! It went on free weekend, and it's still going on. I believe it's free for one more day before it goes back to being closed while in early access. The game is planned to be free to play in the future. It's just during early access, only paying people get to stay. And I've been waiting for something like this because I wanted to try it out. I wasn't sure if it was going to be my thing or not, but I've been enjoying it. It's kind of like Diablo with leveling of Final Fantasy X. You got yourselves like a sphere grid, and depending on what character you play as is where you start on said grid. I've tried so far 2 characters, Huntress and Witch. I have to keep remembering that she's a witch because she's more like a necromancer. But the Huntress, she's got spears, and I've been building her to use her lightning skills mostly because of the AoE and splash damages and whatnot. Been really nifty. Really enjoying her. And plus, spears are an underrated weapon type in RPGs. You'll rarely ever see them. And after their disappearance from the Elder Scrolls games post-Morrowind, it really saddened me because I want to poke things. But yeah, I've been digging it. It's been pretty fun, hack and slashy, cutting through swaths of enemies with my bolts, throwing down a javelin that's like a lightning rod that shoots out sparks constantly, and those sparks hitting enemies generate temporary little living lightning minions that then attack things even more. It's pretty fun. I haven't gotten so far with my necromancer yet, though. But she's got, like... I've been mostly focusing on minions. She's got it's got a scepter that has some skeleton warriors. She has a skill for skeleton archer minions, and just before I logged off last night, I got skeleton bombardier. I haven't got to try him yet, because of course I unlocked him and then went to bed. It's been pretty neat, just sending out my horde of minions to kill my enemies. And she also has a few nifty little things, like she can command the skeleton archers to send out a gas grenade that poisons enemies in the gas. She has this thing I think is like Contagion, I think it was called, where it does chaos damage to enemies, and if like over time, kind of like a chaos flavored poison. And yes, you can stack both. And if you kill the enemy afflicted with the Contagion chaos damage ailment before the ailment goes away, then it spreads to nearby enemies, so you can quickly wipe out a crowd by killing the afflicted enemies and just spreading it like a disease. Which is pretty cool. And that's about that. Thank you all for hearing me ramble on for another 40 minutes, just about. I have some chores to do and a body to shower. I do plan on playing some more Path of Exile before I go to bed. So be prepared to hear more about that next month. I didn't wind up playing Night Rain again, nor Atlas. Almost did, though. But, you know, I'm at the whims of my whimsy. But until next time, remember to hydrate, get some food in ya, go for a little walk if you can, and have a groovy September. Take care, and goodbye.